Hey y'all, it's me, Erin from The Rice Life, and I'm here to do my labor and delivery story, my home birth labor and delivery story. My lighting is kind of weird because it's getting dark outside. I've got a light right here, so hopefully it looks decent. This shouldn't take forever, but I feel like the video was pretty straightforward, but then I got a ton of questions. Y'all know we don't have comments on YouTube anymore, so I've gotten a ton of questions on Instagram about the birth, like how long I was in labor, just all the things about birth. Once active labor started, it was pretty quick, but I had prodromal labor for weeks. Y'all, I'm just going to start here. Okay, so I had prodromal labor for weeks. Like, I did not think I would make it past like 37, 38 weeks at the end. I was just getting really strong contractions, like really like super intense. They were a lot stronger than Braxton Hicks contractions. And I was getting them pretty frequently from about 37 weeks on. So I was just like, my body is not gonna last till 40 weeks. If you're not familiar with all my other pregnancies, my first three babies, Kaine, Karsyn, and Kylan, came at 41 weeks. Ellie came at 39 weeks. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, I doubt I'll go to 41 weeks. So maybe 39 sounds good. So I figured that I would be a 39 weeker. He actually came at 39 weeks and 6 days. So that's the background for that. But I was having really strong contractions the end of the pregnancy. And, but the Saturday before I gave birth, I can't remember the date, I'll put it somewhere, but the Saturday before I gave birth, because he was born on a Tuesday, so what's that, the 7th? Yeah, the 7th of November. On November 7th, that morning, I called John. He was getting ready for work and everything. He just left work for work. And I called John and I said, you know, you probably need to come back home. Like, I feel like I'm in labor. Like, this is probably the real thing. But don't call my mom just yet. My mom lives a little over 2 hours away. And so I was like, but don't call my mom just yet, because if it's not the real thing, because I was having, you know, prodromal labor for weeks. So I said, if it's not the real thing, I don't want her to rush up here and then end up, you know, just waiting around for basically like watching what do they say? Like waiting for the pot to boil, or like watching a boiling pot, basically, you know, you're just sitting there waiting. So I didn't want that to happen. But when he talked to me that morning, this was that Saturday morning, when he talked to me, I had to breathe between contractions, like when I was on the phone with him. And so he was like, okay, sure. Then my mom calls me. She's like, I'm heading up. So I'm like, okay. So Johnny called my mom and told her it's go time. This is on November 7th, the Saturday before I gave birth. And so, like I said, 3 days before giving birth. And so my mom tells me she's got her bags packed. She's on her way. So I'm like, okay, like it is what it is. I was contracting like every 30 minutes, then every 10 minutes, then like 45 minutes. So very sporadic. And so I figured he's probably just not aligned, because that's exactly how it was with Ellie. It's like when labor started, they were like really sporadic contractions. My heat just kicked on, the AC unit just kicked on, so hopefully that's not super loud. But anyway, and so I just remember them being really sporadic, and I was like, this is gonna take forever. So it is what it is. And Ellie had actually eaten in my bed. I don't let the kids eat in my room at all. And when I looked in my favorite comforter, she had ketchup smeared all inside of it. She'd eaten in the bed, and I was so upset. So I was like, okay, my mom's on the way. And John had also headed back home that day. He was like, well, if this is a real thing, then I'm just going to be here. And so Neely and me, I was like, well, if my mom's on the way, and John, if you're here with the kids, then let me go wash this comforter. It's like this huge comforter, and you're supposed to wash it in like one of those industrial size washing machines. And so I took it to the laundromat to wash it, because I was like, I'm not going to ruin my new washer and dryer. And then I was like, since I'm contracting sporadically, like I doubt it's the real thing yet. My mom's on the way, John's home, so I'm just gonna go wash this comforter. And so I decided to have some mommy time, some alone time. I decided to go through the McDonald's drive-thru. Y'all, needless to say, after I tell you the story, you'll know why every time I see the golden arch from now on, y'all, I feel nauseous, okay? So I go through the line, and it's got like a deal for McGriddle or something. And y'all, I never really eat McDonald's. Like, the kids love it. I might get a large fry, no salt, you know, and a sweet tea, that kind of thing. But I don't really eat for McDonald's. But I was like, oh, a McGriddle sounds good, and some hash browns. And yeah, I just thought I was cutting up because I was kidless. So I eat the McGriddle, and needless to say, guys, I get food poisoning Saturday night. So I ate it Saturday morning around 10 o'clock, and Saturday night, I ate it Saturday morning. And I say Saturday night, but it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Sunday, my contractions had completely stopped, and I started having super bad abdominal cramping. And I was like, this is weird. Like, this is not my uterus. This is my stomach. And so I ended up calling my midwife. I was on the toilet. And this is real, okay? I was pooping and I was throwing up, okay, simultaneously for 24 hours. That just gives you a background. So I called her and I was like, I feel like I'm in labor, because I knew I've been contracting, but I was like, my contractions are super intense now. It's in my stomach, like I don't know what's going on. So she was like, I'm not sure either. And I told her it might be food poisoning, because I was trying to like wrap my brain, like what did I eat, what did I eat. I thought it was some spaghetti John made, but then I was like, nobody else in the house is sick. So needless to say, I remembered like 10 hours into it. But it was this McDonald's that I'd eaten. So guys, I was 39 plus weeks pregnant with food poisoning from from Sunday morning until Monday. So I had it for a full 24 hours. It was absolutely horrific. It was worse than labor and delivery. I would not wish that on y'all. I wouldn't wish that on a soul. That was the worst pain in the world. I was running a fever, and I was dehydrated. I was hot, cold. I remember just laying on the tile floor in the bathroom, and it was really cold. And even John was like, "It is freezing cold in here," but I was so hot. So I was laying on the tile floor with a fan, my body pillow, you guys, a big belly, and 39 weeks and some change pregnant, all because like my body was just going through it, okay? And so and plus I was getting up every 2 minutes to either throw up or to use the bathroom. So I was like, there's no point in even leaving the bathroom. So I just slept on the bathroom floor that night. It was miserable. Anyway, so my mom nursed me back to health for 24 hours. So that Monday it finally went away, and I just prayed. I said, Lord, just let me have 24 hours reprieve before I give birth, because I knew my body was ready. But you know, your body really isn't going to go into labor if it's not like at optimum, like if it's not conditioned, like if the conditions aren't perfect. And so because with Ellie, I actually had the flu, and I thought I was in labor then, but I didn't give birth until 5 days later. So but I gave birth to Ellie right when I got rid of the flu. Anyway, so once the food poisoning cleared up, then that was through Monday. And then Monday night I started contracting off and on, that every 30 minutes, that whole back and forth. And I was like, okay, I know my body's gearing up, but I'm going to bed. So I slept through them Monday night. Tuesday morning I got up, and they were a lot more intense, but they were still sporadic. Like, you know, they weren't consistent at all. They were like every 5 minutes, then 7 minutes. They weren't the 30 or 40 minutes anymore. And so I called my midwife, I called the photographer, I let them know to go ahead and get things ready. And she said, of course, when they're every 5 minutes, less than a minute for an hour, call her. The whole spiel. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I ate breakfast and I'm straightening up. If you watch Labor and Delivery, you can see I even like recorded the I even recorded like the postpartum cart thingy. I recorded that because and I just added it to that video, because I was like, I'm not gonna do a whole video on like a 3 minute showing you what's in my birth cart or my postpartum cart. So I've got timestamps in my phone of when I started screenshotting, like when the contractions got really consistent. But like I said, that morning the kids were doing virtual learning, and I was just helping them with that. My mom was here, so that was nice. John was here, obviously, and he had already gotten the pool set up because he knew that my body was gearing up. So he went ahead and blew up the pool. And like I said, I was just contracting off and on, and then they completely stopped around maybe 10:30 or 11 o'clock. I got nothing at all for like an hour and a half, so I had a break. And then even my mom was like, you're not getting anything? You're not getting anything? And I was like, no, I don't feel a thing. And so I'm washing clothes. Y'all, I'm doing some of everything. Like talking to my mom, we're watching Columbo. Y'all, we're just having a good old time. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably not in labor. Like I was very, y'all, being myself. And like I said, I got an hour and a half break from contractions, which was nice. And I actually did not savor my break enough, because I was doing some everything instead of just sleeping. But anyway, so I got that break, and then they picked up again at 1:50. That's what my phone says. It says 1:50. So I'm going to give you the timestamp for my contractions. So like I said, I got about an hour and a half break, and then they started coming on a little stronger once I did this. If you remember the labor and delivery video, you see me in the bathroom, and they're starting to pick up a little bit. They're not like crazy intense. And what I do is I just kind of get on my hands and knees, and I just start swaying back and forth. So I'm doing that like I'm washing clothes, and I get on the washer and dryer, like I lean on the washer and dryer, and I just sway back and forth, because I just knew if he got perfectly aligned that it was go time. And so I'm swinging back, not swinging at all. I was not swinging. I was swaying back and forth, like on my hands and knees on the bed, swaying back and forth on the bed, on the wash and dryer, on like the sink, anywhere I would stop. I would just sway my hips to kind of try to get him in position. I could not find my birthing ball. I don't know where it is. It's probably in the attic. I don't know. So I didn't have a ball to bounce on or anything, but I was like, he just doesn't feel right. So when I did that, guys, I got a really strong contraction at 1:50. And then I got another one at 1:54. and then 2:05. So the first two were 4 minutes apart, and then that was an 11-minute jump from 1:54 to 2:05, and then 2:14, so that's a 9-minute. Then 2:24, so that was 10 minutes. Then 2:32, 2:39, 2:45, 2:50, 2:57, 3:03, 3:09. Guys, that's the last contraction that I recorded at 3:09 before, like, the next picture was this. It was John holding the baby. So they really picked up at like 1:50. He was born at 5. Hopefully you can see that, guys. It's kind of, I don't know what to even click on up here. Hold on. There you go. There you go. So my last recorded contraction was at 3:09. He was born at 5:09 p.m. So I'm gonna say that active labor for me, where I like could not take it anymore, I was like, I can't even screenshot my phone to say how far apart the contractions are. Like, I'm done, I'm over it. Like, where's the midwife? That started at 3:09. He was born at 5:09. So to me, that's exactly 2 hours of active labor. If you want to count 1:50, okay. But I just remember, I'm just gonna say the point where I just couldn't take it anymore was 3:09 p.m. and he was born at 5:09. So that's 2 hours of super active labor. But active labor technically was from 1:50 to 5:09 p.m. So like I said, it was a pretty seamless home birth, y'all. It was everything I've wanted and more. It was just amazing. So like I said, the midwife got here. I do remember I was on the bed and I kept getting the contractions super consistent, like you see, like every 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And I was like, what time is it? What time is it? I would ask John between every contraction, like, when's the midwife getting here? When's she getting here? And he would be like, it's 3:09. It's 3:11. It's 3:13. And I was like, okay. And then I would say, what time was, like, where's the midwife? Where's the midwife? And he was like, you keep asking me literally every 2 minutes. So from about 3 o'clock until, I'll say 5:09, guys, they were every 2 to 5 minutes apart. And so I just felt like the midwife was taking forever. She was not. It was just that she was driving here, but it took her about an hour from the time we called her to get here. When she walked in, this was around 4 something. I'm pretty sure it was around 4 something. I'm not sure the exact time. She got here maybe 45 minutes before the birth. And she came in and I just felt so much pressure. And I was like, oh my God, can you please check me, Tina? Can you please check me? So she checked me. And I was 8 centimeters with a bulging bag, like I always am. Like, by the time the midwife shows up, I'm always 8 centimeters with a bulging bag. And so my water takes forever to break. I'm pretty sure that one of my babies was meant to be born in caul. And in caul does just mean, like, it just means when they're born, like, with the amniotic sac still intact. I feel like I've taken that away from my last 3 babies because I feel like Ellie was supposed to be born in caul, Kylan was supposed to be born in caul, and I feel like EJ was too. But I always tell them to break my water because it takes forever to break. And like I said, my last 3 babies, I had my water broken. With Kaine, they broke it in the hospital, and with Karsyn, it broke on its own right before she was born. So anyway, but so she comes in and she says 8 centimeters with a bulging bag, and I want to say -3 station, I think. No, I was -1 station, -1 station. And so she breaks my water for me, and I've been losing some mucus plugs, so I thought. But when she broke my water, guys, it was, clear fluid, and I immediately felt him descend like it was real. And she had mucus plug like all over her glove. So I knew it was on. Like, I thought I was losing mucus. No. So she had mucus all over her gloves. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is the real thing. So she broke my water, and her assistant Amber was like, without that cushion there, they're gonna be a lot more intense. Guys, before she could even get that out of her mouth, I was like, oh my God, like, what did I do? Why? And so she let me finish a contraction, like, or she asked me, like, do you want to finish this contraction, then head into the living room, do the water birth. And so I waited for the contraction to pass, and I was like, okay, let's hurry and go. I got another one in the hallway. So guys, it was like, they were literally every minute, it seemed. I just felt him descend, and it was real. And so when we get in the living room, John is, he's still getting the tub prepared, and he has to get the water to 98.6 degrees or 100, like between 98.6 and 100. I think it was at like 95. So they were heating up the water, and I was miserable. All right, y'all, the baby just woke up, so I need to hurry. But so like I said, I had to wait for the water to get hot, and I was just miserable because the contractions were coming like crazy, and I was like gushing fluid all over my floor. We just replaced the floors in the living room. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting my new floors wet. And she's like, that's it. Like, it's okay. It's okay. So they just put a towel under me. And I just like dropped to my hands and knees and just kind of waited for the water to heat up and waited for the contractions to subside. And I just remember being, from what I remember, guys, I was just on my hands and knees, just kind of swaying, trying to not really even get him in position, but just trying to feel better. So the water is finally finished. Like John told me, from the time that I got to the living room until the time Ian was born was like 20-25 minutes. It felt like a lifetime to me. So that's just I don't remember anything, guys. I'll also insert this picture of me just like looking out the window, and that's all I remember, kind of remember. It happened really fast. I was just really in my own world, just like I was with Ellie. I don't do hypnobirthing, but I kind of just zone out. I've never done a hypnobirthing class or anything, but I do for sure zone out and kind of wake up to having a baby. And so that's just what happened again this time. John said once I got in the water, it was about 15-20 minutes, not even, from the time I got in the water until the time I gave birth. But so I get in the water and I'm just having contractions. And I remember too, I felt the urge to push, honestly, as soon as I got in the water. And but I was like, there's no way I went from 8 centimeters to 10 centimeters that fast when I was at -3 station. And I was like, or was I at -1 station? I can't remember, y'all. Like he was kind of high up. And, you know, he still got to get to, 3 station is crowning. And so I was like, I don't want to push too soon if I'm not fully dilated, and then risk, having my cervix swell. I was thinking about all these factors. Like, I don't want to just push just because, and it'd be premature pushing. So, so the midwife's assistant, she asked me, she was like, do you want me to, she said, can I feel where your baby's head is when you have a contraction? And I may have been in the water for about 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, sure. And so when I'm having a contraction, she puts her hand up there and she's like, I can feel your baby's hair. Like, when you have a contraction, I can feel his hair. And I was like, oh, I know he's sending and I know it's time to go. So she was like, if you want to really, channel that energy, and when you're contracting, just go ahead and push. If that's what you feel the urge to do, then go ahead. I was like, say less, sis, because I'm ready. She was like, if you want to channel that energy, downward, and, when you feel that urge, go ahead and push, basically, because I did not think that I was fully dilated. I don't know why, but I know my body, and once that water breaks, it's on, and that's what happened. So I was kind of like, say less, sis, like, that's all you got to say. So, so when I felt the contraction, I just, I went with it, and my body was just honestly pushing on its own. In the video, I had no idea I was crying. Like, I don't remember anything, guys. I just don't remember, like, when I edited the video, I was like, I was crying. Like, I don't remember. I just remember just being in my own head, and I just remember just trying to channel all the into pushing him down. I am a grunter when I birth. I could say was, because we're done having babies, but I was a grunter in labor. I just really channel that into getting the baby down. So it's just a very primal thing for me, like a very primal instinct. I'm not a cute labor and delivery girl. I'm not one of those cutesy, no, like when I give birth, okay? Like when I wake up the next day, I'm hoarse. That's how I give birth. And so, so I just remember just really feeling the contractions really strong. And as you can see in the video, you can kind of see when things transition and when I'm like, oh, like my baby's ready. And so it was very nice for her to say, oh, your baby's head is right here. I have, well, I think in the video she said I see eyebrows, eyes, nose. Like, she kind of gave me updates as he was coming down. So that was like really encouraging, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing it. Like, I do remember that, being like, oh, like he's so close to being here. And guys, honestly, he just kind of did his own thing. Like, I felt like I pushed, but not, I mean, I did not tear at all. I definitely felt my body pushing, but I don't feel like I was really pushing. It was more of just the, I guess, fetal ejection reflex, or it was more of me just kind of letting my body do what it was going to do. Like my uterus working with my baby in tandem to get him out. I didn't do a ton, I feel. I don't remember like bearing down super hard. I just remember pushing with my body and not making my body push, if that makes sense. So he was born at 5:09. He was born in the water, as you know. And he's perfect. He's so cute. I'll probably put some pictures of him in. I doubt I'll have him like live action, because if he sees me or smells me, he's going to want a nurse right now. So, and I'm trying to finish the video, but he is super cute. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen all of the Eian spam. Hey y'all, I can't remember where I left off, but I'm nursing the baby. I think, and the kids are acting crazy, y'all, but I think I was saying that if you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen the Eian influx of pictures and cuteness. He is super cute. I'll see if he is done nursing so that I can show him to you really quick. He's in sister's blanket. He's in Karsyn's blanket. I'm gonna show him to you real quick, y'all. He just ate. Here's the chunk, guys. He's super cute. Here's Eian. Say hey, buddy. Let me see if I can lift him up for y'all. There's a burp. There's Mr. Eian. He doesn't have any clothes on. Hey, handsome. There's my bubba. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I scare you? Here he is, guys. Y'all, he smells divine. I love my baby. Say hey, Bubba's. Say hey, handsome. Y'all, he's so soft, so yummy. He looks like John with my nose. That's what everybody says. But looking at him right here, he looks a lot like me, so I don't know. But I think he looks like John's baby pictures. So he definitely has his own look, but I feel like he looks the most like Ellie and Kylan. So let me show it to you one more time. He's a chunk, guys. And of course, we just sit around doing skin to skin so he doesn't have any clothes on. Hey, baby. So this is Mr. Eian. He is the final piece to the rice puzzle. He's our last baby. And I love him. So hey, Snooks. So guys, that's Eian's kind of all over the place labor and delivery story. So he was born at 5:09 p.m. and he weighed 8 pounds 12 ounces. He's our biggest baby because Kaine was 8 even, Karsyn was 7 even, Ellie was, no, I'm out of order. Kaine was 8 even, Karsyn was 7 even, Kylan was 8'7", Ellie was 7'8". And so he is our biggest at 8'12", and he was 21 inches long. He only, Kaine beat him out by 1 inch because Kaine was 22 inches long, which is insane. But Kaine was 22 inches. He's 21 inches. Born at 5:09. He just pooped. And, oh, I thought it was in my hand, but it's not. It was just warm. So anyway, y'all, he's nice and full. He is a chunk. And I need to change his diaper. So he was, like I said, 8 pounds, 12 ounces. 21 inches long. Born at 5:09. And he's perfect and stinky. So say hey. Hi. Sorry, y'all, if you have any questions, I will have this video on the community tab, and you'll also be able to ask me questions on Instagram if you'd like, and we will see y'all in our next video. So he thinks he can sit up, y'all. He's only 3 weeks old. I don't understand his life, but all right, we need to go change his booty. So we'll see y'all in our next video. Bye, y'all.